Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today we are taking a look at from the 30th anniversary line, or you can also say from the Pursuit of Cobra line, since it's basically the same figure, the Steel Brigade Trooper. Um, like I said, this is, uh, to be exact, the 30th anniversary version, but in terms of accessories, it's basically the same as the Pursuit of Cobra version. There are some differences in sculpt, which we'll get to when we get into a more detailed look at the figure. But I could have sworn I reviewed one of these a while ago, but I didn't, or I did and I'm making a terrible mistake doing a re-review. But either way, I think the Steel Brigade figure's quite worth it. As I'm sure many of you know, the history of the Steel Brigade figure is quite interesting. Um, it was actually a mail-away build your own G.I. Joe type of deal where you send in some battle points and some nominal funds to cover postage and handling, and they sent you this Kit Bash Trooper that was basically you. And you could pick your own code name, it had your own file card, which was printed on like a glossy paper. I used the code name Hawk because at the time I was enamored by the show Captain Power, and his number two was a who was in a blue suit, which was my favorite, was Hawk. Completely oblivious that there was a General Hawk and who was a Colonel Hawk in the G.I. Joe line already. I was young. What do you want from me? It also came with a very nice patch with the Steel Brigade logo that you could sew on to your clothing. I fortunately don't know where that patch is right now. I busted out. But one of the novelties of the figure is that as the promotion ran on, they had to use different tooling sometimes, uh, limbs and what have you, to make the figure. That was always interesting because you could tell that if they had to use a different set of arms, those first set of arms were going to be used for another figure. Now, this particular version, I do believe, has changed slightly from the original Pursuit of Cobra, in that it's using the uh, City Strike Snake Eyes legs, that really good Snake Eyes figure, hence the holster and knife sheath. Whereas I think originally it used a different pair of legs. I want to say the Shock Troopers. I may be wrong. I do know, or this could actually be the original, and that was the running change. I do know that there were a couple variants to this figure. As you can see, it is using the Shock Trooper's head, just generic trooper on a ball joint. Very nice, very expressive. The joints on my figure are a little loose, but not too bad. They can hold the pose quite nicely. Universal shoulders, 90-degree bends at the elbow. Um, Full wrist articulation, since this is the Snake Eyes Shock Trooper arms. You do have the up and down sword handling arms. Uh, Ab crunch, that's hindered by the bandolier and vest. So there, but you can get some rotation out of it. Ball jointed hips, 90-degree bend at the knees, and standard ankle articulation. Now, to freshen up the Steel Brigade Trooper, um, both in the 30th anniversary and Pursuit of Cobra lines, Hasbro included a plethora of weapons and accessories, which we're going to look at right now. Okay, well, in the beginning you saw that my trooper was basically dressed in what I considered the basic Steel Brigade trooper look. You had the bayoneted assault rifle, which back in the day was actually carried over from the Crimson Guard. Removable helmet. On the original figure, this was a fixed piece. And the backpack. Now, I think this backpack's been around for a while. But, to get interesting, they included a whole bunch of other more accessories. Basically, I once sat down and figured this out. You can roughly get about 3 different um, Steel Brigade troopers out of this set. 4 if you really push it. First, you can get a Steel Brigade trooper that's a bazooka specialist because it has the launcher right here, as well as the backpack with removable shells. I do want to mention, I did do this on my Pursuit of Cobra Steel Brigade Trooper. The handle is a little bit wider than the stock of the normal rifles. So once you put it in, it is going to stretch the hand out. That goes for the same for the heavy machine gun, which is right here. And it comes with its own stand, or you can have it hold it. Um, I mean, that's again a different layout entirely that you can use. Now, what's really cool, and my old buddy Justin Bell actually missed this and threw out his tray, missing it. There is another assault rifle included underneath the rocket launcher. I think, and this was also on the Pursuit of Cobra version, which is the one he missed. It was actually kind of funny. I actually do like being able to switch out. So really, if you want to, you can have 4 different Steel Brigade troopers going at the same time. Back in the 25th line, many collectors were happy to finally be able to buy a set of the generic green shirt troopers from the G.I. Joe animated cartoon. For Pursuit of Cobra and the 30th anniversary line, Hasbro was kind enough and great enough to bring back the Steel Brigade concept. Um, this is a great figure, and it's a lot of fun. And it's nice that how this is basically in the modern Joe line become the foot soldier now. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, coming soon as part of the 2 packs and 3 packs, you're actually going to get another chance to get the Steel Brigade soldier packed with an Iron Grenadier. While the Iron Grenadier figure is great to look at but not very functional, this is a very functional trooper. Not quite sure what the build will be like, so that'll be a surprise. There was also a vehicle put out for the Steel Brigade, which was a remold of the Vamp that came with the Steel Brigade Delta driver. And let's not forget the G.I. Joe convention set, where you had a few Steel Brigade troopers more recently, including the Steel Brigade Delta figure, or Commander figure, I forget what it was called, but it was done in its 90s color scheme with a gold helmet. Either way, if you don't want to wait for that 2-pack or don't want to get stuck with a bunch of Iron Grenadiers, you could probably find these on the secondary market for a reasonable price. Be prepared though, I'm sure the accessories have been stripped. This is your old pal Chuck with Steel Brigade. We will see you next time.